My name is Vanessa. I am 38 years old, and for a long time I believed my marriage would last forever. My husband, Ryan, was 9 years younger than me. When we met, the age difference never seemed important. We fell in love quickly, got married, and built a family together. We had 2 children, a 7-year-old son named Caleb and a baby daughter named Lily. I stayed home to take care of the children while Ryan worked at a repair shop across town. Life wasn't perfect, but I thought we were happy. Then one ordinary afternoon changed everything. I was getting the children ready for a doctor's appointment. Caleb was already sitting in the back seat while I secured Lily into her baby seat. As I adjusted the straps, my hand touched something underneath the seat. I pulled it out. It was a piece of red women's underwear. For several seconds, I simply stared at it. It wasn't mine. I knew that immediately. A cold feeling spread through my chest. At first, I tried to find another explanation. Maybe it belonged to a relative. Maybe a friend had accidentally dropped it. But deep down, I already knew the truth. Then I remembered something that had happened a few nights earlier. Ryan had been lying on the bed scrolling through his phone while I folded laundry nearby. "Ryan," I said softly, "we hardly spend time together anymore. The kids miss you. I miss you." He barely looked up. Before he could answer, his phone rang. Ryan stood up quickly and walked into the bathroom, shutting the door behind him. Something felt strange. A few moments later, I quietly approached the door. I wasn't trying to spy, but I heard enough. "Don't worry, baby," he whispered. "Soon I won't have to deal with her anymore." My stomach dropped. I felt like the floor had disappeared beneath my feet. When he came out, I confronted him immediately. "Who were you talking to?" His expression turned cold. "That's none of your business." I was shocked. After everything we had built together, he spoke to me like a stranger. An argument followed. Anger took over, and I slapped him across the face. The moment I did it, I regretted it. Ryan's eyes filled with rage. He grabbed my arm and shoved me backward. I stumbled into the wall and cried out in pain. Then he pointed at me. "This is why I don't want this marriage anymore." A few minutes later, he walked out of the house. For an entire week, he never came back. Every night, Caleb asked where his father was. Every night, I struggled to answer. Then, unexpectedly, Ryan returned. To my surprise, he apologized. He said he had made mistakes. He said he wanted to repair our marriage. He even suggested a weekend trip so we could spend time together without distractions. Part of me wanted to believe him. Maybe I was foolish. Maybe I simply wanted my family back. 2 days later, we drove to a quiet cabin near a lake. The area was peaceful and isolated. For the first few hours, everything seemed normal. Ryan cooked dinner. We talked. He even smiled the way he used to years ago. For the first time in months, I felt hopeful. That night, I fell asleep believing things might finally improve. The next morning, I woke up alone. Ryan was gone. I got out of bed and searched the cabin. Nobody was there. When I tried the front door, panic hit me. It wouldn't open. The door had been locked from the outside. At first, I couldn't believe it. I screamed his name. I pounded on the door. Nothing happened. Hours passed. Then another day. I found a small amount of food in the kitchen and tried to stay calm. I kept telling myself there had to be an explanation. But deep inside, I knew there wasn't. Several days later, a vehicle finally arrived. I rushed toward the window. Ryan stepped out. Beside him stood a young woman, and behind them were my children. Relief flooded through me when I saw Caleb and Lily safe. But the relief didn't last long. Ryan entered the cabin carrying documents. "They're divorce papers," he said. His voice was completely emotionless. He explained that he wanted a new life with the other woman. He planned to sell the house and move on. The man standing in front of me no longer resembled the husband I once loved. I signed the papers, not because I wanted to, because I finally understood there was nothing left to save. I asked for one thing. "Please take me to my mother's house." To my surprise, he agreed. My mother welcomed me without hesitation. She helped care for the children while I searched for work. The beginning was difficult. I worked long hours. Money was tight. Many nights I cried after the children were asleep. But every morning I got up and kept going. Slowly, life improved. I earned promotions. I took classes at night. I learned new skills. Years passed. The woman who once depended on her husband became someone completely different. 15 years later, I was leading a successful company. I had built a career I never thought possible. More importantly, I had raised 2 wonderful children. One afternoon, while walking through the office building, I noticed a maintenance worker cleaning near the hallway. Something about him looked familiar. His shoulders were bent. His hair was almost gone. His face looked tired. Then he looked up. It was Ryan. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The confident man who once believed he could throw away his family now looked broken. Recognition appeared in his eyes. He stepped toward me. "Vanessa." I stopped him with a calm look. There was no anger left. No hatred, no desire for revenge, only acceptance. I turned to a supervisor nearby. "Please help that employee return to his work area." Then I continued walking. I didn't look back. Years earlier, Ryan thought leaving me would destroy my future. Instead, it forced me to discover my strength. The truth is that losing him became the beginning of a better life. Sometimes the people who walk away from us believe they are taking everything. But sometimes they are simply making room for us to become who we were meant to be. And that was exactly what happened to me.